WCBI News at 6 starts now.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Lowndes County. A jury finds a West Point man guilty of 8 crimes.
Artravius Gaston was convicted on 2 counts each of armed robbery, kidnapping, and sexual battery. He's also charged with 1 count each of grand larceny and felon in possession of a weapon. Gaston robbed the Sprint Mart on Military Road in February of 2015 and then held 2 store clerks against their will and sexually assaulted them. After the holdup, Gaston was later found hiding in a bathtub at a West Point apartment complex. District Attorney Scott Colomb says sentencing will be Friday morning. We now know the charge of a Lowndes County woman is facing after allegedly cutting her husband early on Valentine's Day morning. Her bond was also set today. 28-year-old Charity Harkins is charged with attempted murder. Her bond is set at $150,000. Lowndes County deputies were called to the couple's home after getting a call from the victim's mother. A large amount of blood was found inside the house, but no victim. While searching outside, deputies heard a voice and found the victim, 54-year-old Barry Ferguson. Ferguson had a large cut to his lower right abdomen. Harkins is in the Lowndes County Detention Center.
Lowndes County deputies need help finding a child abuse suspect. Investigators are looking for 22-year-old Anthony Dion Gilmore. He is wanted in connection with a felony child abuse case. Gilmore's last known address is on McConnell Drive in Columbus. If you know where Gilmore is tonight, call the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department or 911.
Armstrong Middle School in Starkville was not on lockdown anytime today. The Starkville-Oktibbeha County School District tweeted about a social media post from an adult that has, quote, created a frenzy of misinformation that is fueling untruths, end quote. Armstrong operated a normal schedule under normal operating procedures today. Students and staff were safe and secure all day. Administrators encourage anyone who has a concern about a safety issue to contact a school official or security. The district is working with the Starkville Police Department to investigate this matter.
And the concern is understandable. Tuesday's shooting in Florida is the second major school shooting just 2 months into this year. Sadly, the horrific situation is becoming more common, which raises fear levels for many parents, students, and school districts. Counselors encourage parents to talk with their children about the unimaginable scenario because it can ease their fears. But that can also depend on how parents deliver the conversation.
If we present fear and anxiety, then that's exactly what our children are going to present. If we present confidence and knowledge, then our children will present that same confidence, especially in the likelihood of a disastrous event.
Woods says it's important to limit information your children receive about these situations through the media and internet. How much pot is too much? Apparently, the magic number is 30 grams or more.
Mississippi's capital city says if you have less than that, it's not a big deal. Our Victoria Bailey takes a look at what decriminalizing marijuana could do if it were on the table for discussion in the Golden Triangle. She joins us in the studio with that story.
That's right, guys. Jackson is doing it, decriminalizing marijuana. And this begs the question across the area of what this could mean for law enforcement.
You can now be caught in possession of less than 30 grams of marijuana in the state's capital city without a trip to jail.
What they're speaking about is an ounce or more is a felony amount. That's what the state statute says. It's actually 28.35 equals 1 ounce, but for package weight and everything else, so 1 ounce is a pretty significant amount. It's not huge.
Under the new Jackson City ordinance, the fine shrinks to $100. Ward 5 City Councilman Stephen Jones says if the same proposal were in place here, he could see it being more profitable in the long run.
I think that it will be more like a speeding ticket. You know, we're more likely to get the money now that it's become, just a ticket. You write them a ticket and they go home and then they have to come and pay the ticket. So, you're more likely to get, paid for it, because the fine is not so high.
Lowndes County Narcotics Officer Archie Williams says decriminalizing cannabis wouldn't change his day-to-day one bit.
We've been dealing with the marijuana laws. I've been doing this 18 years and it hasn't changed, and we still concentrate on all aspects and enforce all aspects of the drug laws. So one or the other would not make a big difference, because either way, I don't see a change at all.
Jones says decriminalization of small amounts of pot would allow law enforcement to see the more harmful drug dealers clearer.
It frees up, your officers and your drug enforcement agents to be able to focus on, bigger drugs. Your meth, your pills and different things of that sort.
Williams says it could be marijuana today, but
What would be the next step? Are you allowed to run 1 red light a day, but don't let us catch you running 2? Or, hey, the first DUI is on us, and then we'll catch you on the second. I mean, it's kind of, if you look at it in that way, I don't see it being a good thing. You're choosing what laws to enforce and what not.
Now, the Jackson's council decision will go into effect next month. Again, this issue is not being considered in the Golden Triangle.
All right, interesting look at that.
All right, thanks so much, Victoria. Time now to turn our attention to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. He joins us with a first look at your forecast.
It is a great summer-like evening, although we are in mid-February here. Temperatures in the 70s at 6 o'clock. The sun just went down. We are still in the 70s. It is going to be a mild evening, and look at these temperatures still at this hour. Widespread low and mid-70s here in the deep south. A pretty nice sunset right there. Not too shabby here. We broke up some of those clouds. Those clouds will fill back in this evening. 70s now, then mostly 60s this evening. Worst case scenario, low 60s by sunrise tomorrow. A few showers, especially up north. We'll have more on the cool down for tomorrow, but more warmer next week in just a few minutes.
Life after high school. For many students, the path may not lead to a college degree.
Lowndes County administrators understand that now they are leading a movement to prepare students for fields that need trained workers. Parker King is live outside the soon-to-be open Career Tech Center with more. Parker?
This Career Tech Center may not be open until August 1st, but this morning it made a little bit of an exception, opening its doors to business leaders as well as state and local legislature, showing the potential that this building offers to students.
The Secretary of State's office sent out a survey to thousands of businesses in Mississippi. They asked, "What do you need?" Businesses answered, almost the same across the board.
The most important thing to them was educated workforce, way over everything else. The second most important thing was community support.
Lowndes County School District shows just that, educating a future workforce in their new Career Technical Center with the community behind them.
We want to make sure our kids have the skills to fill this need.
Lowndes County School District hopes partnerships with local businesses can show students a successful career path.
This is where everything begins here. Only about 20% of our young men and women will actually get a collegiate degree, and 70% of them have got to work.
There are more and more jobs available, but less skilled laborers to fill those jobs, and these jobs pay good wages. They have great opportunities for a good future. For our students.
The lack of an educated workforce is said to be due to lack of communication between school systems and businesses. Lowndes County's efforts could begin a statewide movement to train the next generation of workers.
Not everybody has made this kind of commitment. The commitment was made here, which is the right thing to do. I mean, we need to take it everywhere and tell them to do the same things, to vision what the workforce is going to look like in the future, and train those people beginning 10th, 11th grade all the way up, train them to fit that workforce.
On top of that, the coordination between businesses, school systems, and government looks to go deeper. By teaching this information and training at a younger age, like upper elementary, middle school, perhaps the state could resupply its empty jobs with the proper amount of workforce. Live outside of the Lowndes County Career Tech Center, Parker King, WCBI News.
Coming up, in one area, police department was taking a different kind of mug shot today.
It's community policing one cup at a time when we come back.
CBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back. Aberdeen residents and police officers gathered to tackle community issues over a cup of coffee. This morning, a group filled the Kimmel Bakery in Aberdeen, that is, for the town's second Coffee with a Cop. This event is meant to strengthen ties between Aberdeen and Monroe law enforcement and the citizens. Free coffee and donuts were provided.
Choctaw County Regional Medical Center officially opens the new edition of its Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. The facility has 13 additional beds. The new dining halls, therapy rooms, and lounges are also part of the renovation project. Employees are proud of the care they will be able to bring to more residents.
We are extremely excited to be able to open up this facility. We are just excited that we're going to be able to provide quality healthcare services to our seniors in the county. They won't have to leave home, to be able to give that family that comfort of being able to stay with their loved ones and have that time to just be with them and yet know that they're being cared for.
Now, this is phase 1 of the project. Phase 2 will feature a spa.
How about a little bit of STEM action today? East Webster Elementary School right here, making it rain through some of those shaving cream clouds. Pretty cool. We love to see that. We love to talk about the weather. The full forecast is next. Stay tuned.
First Alert Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Here's our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Vernon, Alabama. Look at these friendly clouds, cumulus clouds. We broke up some of those clouds and saw a lot of sunshine today, and that really boosted our temperatures well into the mid and upper 70s. So that's how it looked earlier today. A pretty nice sunset around the region. And you've probably noticed some of the flowers coming on up. I have a similar scene in my flower beds too. A little jump start right now with this heat and humidity we have out there. And just a little side note, I don't really expect any major cold air between now and the end of the month. Will we see another freeze this month? I don't know. At this point, it's not looking likely. So those plants, those flowers will continue to blossom here. Temperatures right now in the low and mid 70s across North Mississippi and most of Alabama too. As we look upstream, it's a little bit different. And as a matter of fact, in my old stomping grounds of the Dakotas, it's only in the single digits. So I was just thinking to myself, maybe it was a good decision to move on down to the deep south, because right now we are looking at temperatures well into the 70s, but that cold front's coming our way, mild all night long. We wake up to temperatures in the mid to low 60s, 8 o'clock in the morning for the commute to work and school. We should be nice and mild, but then this front will push on through here, falling temperatures in the afternoon, so by the time you go home from work and home from school tomorrow, much different with some scattered showers around. So there will be a little bit of rain, especially across the northern tier by the morning commute, and then those showers will be possible everywhere as we go throughout the course of the day. And look at that temperature free fall into the 50s and 40s in the afternoon. That front I'm talking about is up here across the high plains and the upper Midwest, and we really don't anticipate a lot of significant rainfall with the front for tomorrow. Generally speaking, about 1/4 of an inch of rain or less for Friday. A weather system here as we get into your Saturday as that system zips on through here. Now this front is going to move back north as a warm front on Sunday. That too could kick off a little bit of rain as well. So rainfall potential for Friday, as I mentioned, 1/4 of an inch or less. A little bit more so Saturday into Saturday evening, maybe 1/2 inch to 1 inch plus, especially along and north of US 278. So that's what we're thinking as far as the rainfall potential. Here's our 7-day forecast. Falling temperatures tomorrow. Now, Saturday, we're advertising 58. Some of you north of Columbus could be in the 40s. South of Columbus, maybe 70s. So all over the place here Saturday. 63 Sunday, mid to upper 70s, pushing 80 degrees again by next Tuesday, with another chance for some thunderstorms perhaps by Wednesday.
Another chance for history tonight for Hale State hoops. More from Vic Schaefer and Mississippi State next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
It seems every week another major milestone is up for grabs for Mississippi State women's basketball. The Bulldogs have won 26 straight games, and with one more win tonight at Vanderbilt, they would clinch a share of the program's first SEC regular season title. But no matter how many milestones are reached or records that are broken, Vic Schaefer says his team remains all business.
There's times I walk in and they're just, okay, who's next, coach? What are we doing next? You know, it really amazes me. Last year's team was a lot like that, but this year's team is too. I mean, heck, I want to see some giddy people, you know. I want to see some fired up and, you know, excitement. But that I think that's what's allowed us to be as good as we are, is that we're just really grounded.
So here's a look at the women's basketball slate in the SEC. Tonight, Ole Miss travels to Baton Rouge to take on LSU at 7 p.m. That game will not be televised. They'll be on the SEC Network Plus. The Rebels in need of a big win tonight against LSU. Mississippi State at Vanderbilt, the late tip-off at 7:30 on the SEC Network. Mississippi State with a win tonight would remain 3 games above everyone else in the SEC. That is how they would clinch a share of the regular season title tonight with a W. But hey, a lot of big things coming up for Mississippi State over the next couple of weeks. But to high school hoops, the Region 6 1A district tourney, Nanawaya girls facing off against Vardaman early on for the Lady Rams. Monica Wright goes coast to coast for the score. It'll be a tie ball game early on, and later on for Vardaman, Renatica Armstrong gets the ball at the wing, even a hand in her face, nothing but nylon for the triple. But Nanawaya trying to dig their way back into this one. Madison Alford finds Dalen Nance, nice drive, pull-up jumper. Nothing but net there. In fourth quarter we go, Nanawaya down, but Lindsay Copeland finds Nance, drives again, pull-up jumper. Another one getting the mid-range to go, but just too much Vardaman down the stretch. Monica Wright finds Annabeth Lucius driving to the hole with the bucket, plus the foul. Vardaman gets the W over Nanawaya 49-26. Lady Rams will play in the district final coming up tomorrow. And also the boys in action taking on West Lowndes. Early on for the Rams off the inbounds play, Patrick Pratt drives, pull-up jumper. Rams with the early lead thanks to the made basket there. West Lowndes would answer. Trey Lucius drives inside. Nice take even with the contact. Maybe wants an and one there, but he'll take the 2. Back comes Vardaman. Pratt finds Connor Edmondson in the corner for the triple. Nothing but nylon, my man. Later on for the Panthers, Quay Sanders. He's going to find Jalen Brewer inside. Nice little spin in there for the bucket to go inside. And more from Vardaman, Cody Townsend. Hey, we saw Cody on the football field this year. Nice drive and take for the finish. But West Lowndes would punch its ticket to the district championship tomorrow. The final score 43-37. So we'll take a look at what we have going on the rest of the day. As you just saw, Vardaman Lady Rams get the W over Nanawaya. West Lowndes beats Vardaman. Those two are in the district championship tomorrow. Hamilton and West Lowndes girls playing right now to face Vardaman coming up tomorrow. And we'll have highlights of both these games. And then the Cross Creek rivalry rematch between Knox Pater and Nanawaya. That will decide who goes to the championship tomorrow as well on the boys' side to take on West Lowndes. Again, we'll have all these highlights from the Region 6 1A District Championship coming up again at 10 right here on WCBI Sports. We'll have the last year forecast next.
Very warm today, still warm tomorrow morning, but by this time tomorrow afternoon it will be more wintry around here, some wet weather perhaps on Friday and Saturday. We will springboard back into the mid to upper 70s early next week, and another chance for storms by Wednesday.
All right, rain off and on throughout the whole 7 days.
Yeah, you know what, if we get warm this time of year, it usually includes some rain.
Okay.
No doubt, everybody looking at that black cloud
Yeah, I
November
know.
Saturday. All right, thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.